Hello everyone, let's talk about Japanese particles today. If you are new here, my name is David and I make mainly Japanese learning content. If you are interested in learning Japanese or thinking of starting one, do keep watching. You can also bookmark this video so you can refer it back next time. じゃあ、始めましょう。So what are particles? In a nutshell, they are an essential part of Japanese grammar, and you probably will learn them as soon as the first few lessons of any textbooks. Today I'm going to go through the common ones the beginners will learn and their common usage. Obviously, the entire usage is too much to be in one video, so I will just touch on the basic and their common usage. You can think of them as English prepositions, which means that there is no shortcut to remembering it. It really boils down to practicing hearing them over and over again until you get a hang of it. The most common ones are wa, ga, de, ni, ya, wo, ka, to, and no. I am grouping them up in categories so it's easier to follow. To, ya, and ka are mainly used for connecting nouns, i.e. names, and asking questions. De and ni are mainly used for time and places. O is used for names. No is used for possessive. Wa and ga are used for various purposes. Let's start with the more straightforward ones, to, ya, and ka. To is used to connect two or more nouns together or to indicate together with. For example, inu to neko, meaning dogs and cats. Avengers to Harry Potter, meaning Avengers and Harry Potter. A simple conversation can be like, Pokemon to Digimon どちらが好きですか? Pokemon です。To can also indicate together with. For example, 来週の土曜日にマティとラリーとクラブに行くけど一緒に行く? いいね、楽しそう。The second particle ya is used to list multiple things, but the difference is that ya is not exhaustive, whereas to is exhaustive. Meaning, if you use to, you only mean what was being said, whereas ya means that you are giving examples. A conversation can be like, アベンジャーズには誰がいますか? スパイダーマンやキャプテンアメリカやスカラートウィッチがあります。The third particle ka has two main uses. One is asking a questions, and the other means or. In my previous two examples, アベンジャーズには誰がいますか? and ポケモンとディジモンどちらが好きですか? Both sentences ended with a ka with a raised tone. This indicates that I was asking a question. And the other usage is or, and here's how you can use it. 映画かテレビ、コーヒーかお茶、これかあれ? The second group of particles are ni and de. They are mainly used when talking about places and time. The fourth particle is ni. This particle is often used to indicate directions, location, and time. Let's look at some of the examples to understand how it works. A very typical example is place, ni ikimasu. Ikimasu means to go, like Tokyo ni ikimasu, meaning I'm going to Tokyo. Or in my earlier example, club ni iku. Club is a place, followed by ni, and then followed by ikimasu. Ni can also be used to indicate a point in time. Rule of thumb is time and ni. So for example, you can say, 2時間に行きます or back to the examples, if we are going clubbing at 11 p.m., I can say, 私たちは11時にクラブに行きます. Lastly, ni is also used to indicate a place where something exists. The sentence structure is place, ni, now, があります or います. Example is どの町にポケモンセンターがあります meaning every town has a Pokemon center. So どの町 means every town, followed by に followed by now, lastly があります います. If you're not sure when to use あります or います, don't worry about that for now. I'll make a separate video. The focus now is on the particle に. The fifth particle is de. De is also associated with places, but in this case, it refers to where the action takes place. So the sentence structure is place, de, and action verb. For instance, ねえねえ見て、女の子たちがバーで喧嘩してるよ. And to break it down, 女の子たち is who am I referring to? バーで means bar, and the particle de. 喧嘩してるよ refers to the action, which is fighting. So to summarize, ni and de, ni can refer to where you are going, a point in time, or something existing, whereas de refers to where the actions take place. One thing to note is that just because you start with a place at the beginning of a sentence, it doesn't dictate what you are going to use, whether ni or de. It really depends on what you are trying to say. The sixth particle is o, although it is pronounced as wo, but when paired with a noun, the sound changes to o. This is quite a direct particle used to mark the direct object of a sentence. A general rule of thumb is noun plus o plus the verb, and the examples can be 日本語を勉強します。絵を描きます。部屋を掃除します。All these three sentences follow the basic noun and o verb structure. In these cases, the nouns are 日本語、絵、部屋, and the verbs are 勉強します、書きます, and 掃除します. The 7 particles I'm focusing on is no. The most straightforward way is to think of it as an apostrophe s, meaning Matty's friend, マティの友達, my mom, 私の母, her phone, 彼女の携帯, his name, 彼の名前, and so on. This is quite straightforward. Okay, the last two particles which every Japanese learners and Japanese themselves struggle with, and that is the particle wa and ga. If you Google the usage for wa and ga, they will tell you that wa is for topic and ga is for subject. But personally, I feel that it doesn't help much, so I'm going to explain it in a simpler way. Here is a simpler explanation to get you started, and the easiest way to look at it is context. Let's start with wa. Even though it is written as ha, it is pronounced as wa when used as a particle. Some of the classic examples are 私はデビッドです meaning I am David. I am the focus here. I am talking about myself. 日本は美しいです meaning Japan is beautiful. Japan is the focus here. I'm talking about Japan, so to mark both me and Japan as a topic, I use wa. Now let's move on to ga. Ga is usually used when you want to emphasize who or what is performing an action or to introduce new information. So for example, 犬が走っています. In this case, ga emphasizes that it is a dog that is doing the action. Or 誰が来ましたか? Meaning who came. In this case, 誰, who, is marked with ga because we are focusing on who is performing the action of coming. So a normal conversation, it could be like, は? 誰が聞いたの? So in this example, the context is that you are focusing on the asking is done by who. When also talking about something you like or dislike, you also use ga. For instance, 黒みが好きです. I like 黒み. 暑い天気が大嫌いです. I hate hot weather. So let's compare these two sentences. 私はデビッドです versus 私がデビッドです. The first one is used when I am introducing myself, like meeting someone for the first time, where nobody has any context of who I am, whereas the second one is used when answering questions like, who is Davido? i.e., introducing a new piece of information. A good way is to look at the sentence, identify whether wa or ga are used. If wa is used, then most likely what you see came before it. That is the focus. If ga is used, then the focus is what came after it. Obviously, these are not exhaustive. So there you go. Leave a comment if you have any questions you would like me to answer or any topics you would like me to talk about. And also, do subscribe. Thank you. またじゃね